Welcome everyone to another exciting episode on the African Duchess Show. I'm your host, Rumbidzai Zopa, from Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. And today we are back with the topic on relationships. And today we've got the guys on board, and we hope you're going to have an exciting show. Thank you all for tuning in on a Friday night. So we're going to get straight into business. So today, we are going to be discussing about relationships, but we wanted to hear the male side, the male perspective, and their views. So if you're joining in, um, thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy today's show. So the first question to the guys is, as a guy, as a male, as a gentleman, what do you look for in a woman? What do you look for in a woman?
Is this question directed to anyone? Oh,
Sorry. My minute. I forgot to introduce the lovely, handsome guest we have today. Sorry, my minutes. I never do that. What? Okay, so today we're joined with Tanaka Manoa. He's a basketballer, and alongside we have Melbourne Nyamadzao. Um, they're all basketballers, and they are tuning in today, and they are guests on the issue to do with relationships. I'm so sorry for that. So
Not a problem.
be nice to our guests. They are quite shy. Be nice to them on the comment section. Feel free to ask them any questions. Yeah, let's just enjoy the show. So, to our guests, either Tanaka or to Melbourne, what do you look for in a woman?
I'll think Melbourne can take this one first.
I thought it's gonna be Seniors first as my basketball captain. I mean, you can go first, man. Just take it away.
Okay. Well, thank you've already introduced me. I'm Tini Manoa, and I'm 23.
Okay.
So yeah. For this question, I'm just gonna try and answer it in my own way, as I said, like as I am as a guy, you know.
Okay.
Inini, not someone else.
You.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. So you said, what do men look for in a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this in as much can be so complicated because as guys we look for different things in a girl, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne can be looking for all of that, the chest, the back, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a plus when it comes to a girl. The face too, we can even take that into consideration. But as for me now, I want someone who understands me, someone who I am on a, like we're on the same level. You get it? We need
Mm-hmm.
to
I
to
get it.
we need to kind of like vibe on a level that other people would think we are crazy, but we know that we're understanding each other, that they don't know what's going on. What we have,
Mm-hmm.
it's different from them. You can have all of those other attributes, like you can be cute, you can have that nice body, etc. But what I'm looking for is I want someone who I don't have to think, I don't have to I just want to know you and I want you to know me back. Shit, straight up, straight up. That's exactly what I want in a woman.
Okay. All right. That was from Tini. Melbourne, what's your cup of tea? What do you look for in a woman?
Okay, first, thank you, Mzopa, for this wonderful opportunity. Just want to say
Okay.
pleasant evening to your viewers. So, just to get to the question, I think it's a very, I would just try to break it down so that I can really get to really what I look for in a relationship. I think the first important thing is what do I want in that relationship, right? So you remember, we go through certain phases in our lives or in our growth where at a point I'm just looking for someone to play around with, right? And then at a point I'm looking for something that's serious. So I think it's very important to specify which stage of life you are in or what do you want in a relationship for you to be able to answer that question. But well, just in general, I think for me, what does it most is I don't necessarily go out looking for characteristics in a person because I feel it's something that's emergent, right? So you go around meeting a lot of people, right? But then there's just something that speaks to you that you can connect with. So you can't really name it on, off the offset to say, oh, this is what I want. But when you see it, you know it. I think that's how I approach it. So even like for so just a good example is like in the relationship that I am in, right? It's not like I set up to say I'm going to look for someone who looks like this, but when I met the person, it was just like, oh my goodness, I think this is really what I want, right? So then now I look back and I'm like, okay, fine. So I think this person has this, and it sort of like speaks to what I was looking for. But just to give you a pointer, I think one thing that I look for most, or that I want or appreciate in girls, is how they speak. I think that one is for me. So first thing is how you speak, right? So anything else is fine. I promise, anything else could be fine. But you just have to speak proper, and then uh, other stuff we can discuss along the way. But I think that's the most important thing. So you can be very pretty, but if you don't speak very well, I think you're not going to do it for me. And then we will discuss the other things later on in the relationship or when we start knowing each other. I think that's how I sort of like approach it. Your microphone is off from me. Your
I was,
mic is
Ah,
off.
okay,
I was
okay.
actually waiting for her.
Okay. My question was, when you say someone who speaks very well, what are you referring to? Are you talking about the accent? Because I don't have a good accent. Are you talking about the intellectual, or are you talking about respect? Really, what are you talking about? What are you saying when you say how they speak?
And now his microphone is off.
Your microphone is off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's all of the above, to be honest. I just want someone who's well spoken. So it could be sort of like how you articulate your ideas, and also,
Oh,
yeah, accent could be part of it. Yeah, to some extent. I don't want to lie, but yeah, it's just how you are able to articulate your ideas. I think that's the most important thing to me.
So
okay.
so
Okay, that's all
so
right. Uh,
can I just
go
I
ahead.
Yeah,
just want to ask guy to guy. I just want to ask him guy to guy. So
yeah,
Melbourne, you are trying to say you want someone who's smart,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's part of the package. It's part of the package.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't say so much on the structure, guys.
Oh,
On the structure as well. From both ends, do you prefer them light skinned? Do you prefer them melanin? Do you prefer them tall, dark? I don't know, short.
And the way you just say tall, that look on your face.
No, no, no. No, it's fine, guys. You can choose them short and light. I understand.
Yeah.
That's your preference.
But
um,
from what we both said, right? You can
Yeah.
tell that we never mentioned structure or anything
Okay.
as part of the package. Yeah.
yeah.
So that
Okay.
means whether you're tall, short, you know.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I don't discriminate women in such a way. No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the word. Yeah. As long as we understand each other on that level, I'm just gonna go for it. You know, because I
Mm.
think a lot of people our age are like going for are dating for the wrong reasons. You know,
True.
as Melbourne was saying, it depends with the stage that you take in that relationship. You know, so as for me now, I don't think I want to play games anymore because the more you want to tolerate those games, the older you're gonna get, and you're still gonna be that Game Boy. You know, so it comes to a certain stage in your life that you have to set your foot down and then know what you want, no matter how the package comes, the size, the length. But
It's
you, yeah,
Okay.
you know what you want. But we all know something that the face that's a given. That's a given, guys. We all know that. We all
Okay.
know that. Yeah, that's a
Mm.
given. I think that's my take. The face,
um,
the face, the face.
so so like Mtini said, I think for with our first answers, I think that structure or all these other things are not the most important things. Yeah. But well, I would want to generalize this answer, right? Sort of like to speak to your question. So just to generalize the answer, it goes back to the point I said, what are you looking for in that relationship? Or what are you going into relationship for, right? So
Mm.
let's say you're just going into a relationship because everyone is going into the relationship and it's the cool thing to do, right? Everyone is dating, you're supposed to date, right? Obviously, you're going to focus on your your fantasy. So, as guys, this is also a generalization. So, as guys, always have this fantasies in our heads. So usually what happens is when you look for a partner, you usually play the fantasy onto the partner, right? So maybe your fantasy could be, let's just say, Megan the Stallion, something like that, right? So in every girl that you're looking for, you're going to play that fantasy, right? So you're going to look someone who
Okay.
matches that, right? So you're going to look for someone who matches that fantasy, right? So well, it also speaks to where you are or what you're looking for and what is your fantasy. So I mean, fantasies can differ from one person to the other. I mean, it all depends with what you're filling your mind with, what is the trendy stuff around you at that time. So it speaks to what you're looking for. But I mean, it depends from guys to guys. But I mean, fantasy is, as we're seeing these days, I think that it's trendy to have someone who's light skinned, someone who's curvy, and basically it's just a fantasy that we're now playing on females, and that's the reason why we choose those people. But I mean, in further into that relationship, then you realize, man, we're not really vibing, but I have a trophy, so that's sort of like how it goes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you for that, gentlemen. Okay. The next question is: would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship? Would you compromise your happiness from at the expense of the success of the relationship? Because I understand at times you can realize that you're not compatible with your partner, and then you want to try so much for things to work. You at the end of the day you're looking for a life partner, you want to settle, um you want someone who's always checking up on you, stuff like that. So but then at times you won't be happy. So would you compromise, or rather, would you sacrifice your happiness for the success of the relationship? Because from Africa, I understand it's bad omen to break up with a girl. So guys, they tend to act up until the girl breaks off things and all. But then at the end of the day, your happiness is what matters the most. So, would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship?
Oh, okay, let me take that one first.
Okay.
I saw the way Ntini was looking at me.
Exactly, exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
this was
So
yours.
I mean, from your statement, you say that your happiness is what matters the most, which I would sort of like disagree with, because well,
Okay.
we have to understand that when you go into a relationship, it stops being about you, and it's about the relationship, right? So, so
Mm.
really, your happiness is not the most important thing. Well, it's important, but I mean, it's not the most important thing. But the fact that is the union that you guys having thriving. That should be the most important thing. So with that, you can't be hoping from one relationship to the other just because you're unhappy. Because truth be told, you're not always going to be happy in every relationship. So if I leave this person because they're doing something that I'm not going to like, and I'm just like, okay, fine, I'm going to find another person. For sure, you're going to find another person who's going to replace that thing, or we're going to make you happy in that way, but they're also going to make you unhappy in other ways, right?
That's very
So
true.
yeah, so that's not a long-term solution to be hopping from one relationship to another because you're not happy. The important thing that you have to do is to seek and find the areas that you're not happy, and communicate with your partner to say, okay, fine, I think I'm not satisfied in this regards. Can you fix yourself in this way? And usually, we you realize that in most relationship, it's not about the other person, but it's about you. It's about your inadequacy as a person. So before you start thinking that, for example, Muzopa is making me unhappy, you have to look to yourself first and say, okay, fine, maybe I'm the one who is a bozo in this relationship. How can I fix myself to fit into this person? And this works perfectly well if it's reciprocal to the other person. So if the other person is also doing the same, I think then it will work perfectly. So in my opinion, or in my relationship, it's not really about me, but it's about the whole relationship, right? So even I am unhappy sometimes because we fight and whatnot, but I mean, as long as the goal is definite, we're gonna pursue that one, and we're gonna have fights along the way. Even if you're gonna go into marriage, I mean, man, it's gonna get worse, but it's just that union that's gonna keep you together, and sort of like the promise that you make to one another when you say I love you. So this is sort of like what I feel, what I think about that question. Your yeah.
Okay, hold that thought. Let me just go through the comments. From Rujeko. Dang, Tin is my crush. Ha ha ha. Glad to have you on the show. Hi, Hannah. Hey. Hey, Ru from Lois. Hey, y'all from Sequel. Hey, hey, hey. All right. I wanted to read comments relating to what we are saying. Okay. Much love from the chat room. People are loving you guys. Okay, can we call it discrimination though if one prefers a shorter to a taller woman? Okay, that was addressed. Um, okay. Melbourne, I love the way you think. Okay, that is true. People are agreeing with what you're saying. Yeah, all right. It's okay. We can continue.
Okay, so it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the whole happiness issue, look,
Mm-hmm.
guys, we can't fool ourselves. You are in a relationship to be happy, you know. So it comes along. I'm not gonna force myself to be in a relationship where I feel uncomfortable, you know. As I am talking to you, as we that stage of getting to know you, as I'm knowing you, we're talking to. I know what I'm looking for. I know the kind of questions I'm gonna ask, and the way you're gonna respond. I'm gonna know the kind of person you are, and if you're gonna click, you know. So, but they certainly there comes a time where you have to sacrifice your own happiness to make the relationship work. But there comes a stage where you be like, no, this is enough, and I have to take care of me now. So look at
Okay.
this. That's like another person, right? And this is me. I want to make sure my girlfriend is happy. and I want to make sure that I am happy. So, as long as you are what I said before, what I'm looking for, happiness shouldn't be an issue because we're going to be good. We're going to be okay. So I can sacrifice being happy because look, maybe I'm gonna be coming from home and I'm like my mind is flooded with a lot of stress. You know how it is. You know how it is living
Yeah.
in Africa. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So to you, I'm coming to that person who's gonna try and understand me, who's gonna try and make me forget about everything, not be that person who's gonna like add even more stuff, more stress, more. I just want you to be that person who makes me feel at ease, who makes me be that person. So when I'm happy, I can tell you anything. And we can be in that place there that a lot of relationships are not, you know? Because I'm gonna try my best to make you happy, smile, laugh, all of those good things. I'm gonna try and make you feel good. Because as long as I'm gonna see my girlfriend feel good in that whole nice emotion, you see her smile, it just lights up your day. The moment I see that, I'm gonna be happy as well. You get my point? So
Yeah.
as long as we're both happy, that's exactly what matters. So we get to that extent, we reach that stage after, as I said before, after I know the kind of person you are. So I'm not gonna keep on trying to push that relationship to be at a stage that I know that I'm forcing myself to be happy. I won't me as a guy, I won't do that to myself. I won't do that to myself. Because we both deserve to be happy. So I think, yeah, that's my take on happiness.
Okay. Melbourne, anything to say?
Um, I think just a quick one to Ntini. So, do you think you can know everything about someone before you get into a relationship?
Good question.
Yeah.
So look at this way. Should you just rush to be in a relationship when you see a girl, right?
Yeah.
You like her, obviously. There's something that a lot of people call love at first sight, but don't let that fool you. You know her. Give yourself some time, man. Why should you just rush to just step into a relationship already? That is just gonna be like one of the previous relationships you have already had. Because I think every relationship you have in your life should be something that teaches you. You should learn from
Mm-hmm.
every relationship you have, and you make yourself a better person proceeding onwards as a human. Because as humans we live and learn. So live and learn from previous relationships, from previous experiences as you go on. So I give myself some time. I get to know you, and they should come at least a series of dates where we go out, we talk. It shouldn't be even something fancy because I just want to know you at a personal level. I don't just want something where I'm just looking at you, you're eating or watching a movie, but those kind of scenarios you really talk and you barely know the person or
Mm-hmm.
what you are looking for. You get it?
Okay.
So
So,
I
uh,
I
w-
have to give myself some time. I give myself some time first, then I know exactly if I'm gonna step into that relationship or not.
okay. So, okay. Just before I come in, I would also want to know by this time, what's sort of like your time frame to know someone? Yeah.
It's
Or
it's it can actually, yeah, go on.
yeah, and I know it depends, but sort of like what's sort of that time frame? Then I'm gonna come in.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it takes me, let's say I see a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I've just met this girl like right now, right? I'm just gonna give myself, let's say, 3 weeks to a month
Okay.
to really see what I'm getting myself into. you know.
Yeah.
So that time for me gives me exactly like it shows me exactly what I'm dealing with.
Right.
So it's just gonna
Um,
take me 3 to 4 weeks, then I know exactly what I want. Although
okay.
sometimes, cause as you say, it differs, right? There
Yeah.
is a person, Melbourne. There is a person. I think you've also felt this before in your life. There is a person who you meet today and you go out, let's say tomorrow, huh? And then you are dying to even see her the next day.
Yeah.
You get my point. Those you shouldn't wait. You shouldn't wait for 3 to 4 weeks for those kind of person.
Yeah.
Exactly. You shouldn't
But
wait for
well,
those kind of person. Because
so with why I'm asking the time frame thing is I'll give from a personal experience. So before I got into the relationship that I am in right now, um, it's kind of, don't know if it's stupid or I was slacking. I don't know what it is, but it took me about a year to get to know the person, right? To get
What?
before
okay.
Yeah.
before getting into the relationship. So it was like a year on a personal level. It was like a year before getting into that relationship. But even after that year, and I also had some other years knowing the person from a distance, right? But after now getting into the relationship, I then realized, well, man, I've known you for a year personally, but there are still a lot of stuff to know about you, right? And some of this thing you just start noticing in the relationship. So it kind of speaks back to why I asked you the first question to say. I feel, well, it depends, but I feel generally you won't know everything about someone. Some of the stuff you get to know as the years goes by, or as the months, the weeks, whatever it is, right? So you
Yeah.
should be ready to tackle whatever that comes in. And some of the stuff, to be honest, they're not going to make you happy. But well, at the end of the day, it's not about that, but it's about the whole union and how you sort of like find a common ground and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's where my sort of like my question was coming from a personal experience. But well, I
Good.
do understand what you're talking about.
But sorry, can I just add something?
Yes,
Don't
but
you think like the length of getting to know someone
Hmm.
depends on whether she lets you know everything or she keeps most of the stuff to herself. Don't you think
Well,
it depends on the
that's a
fact?
good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. So
Yeah,
she walks in most instances she will keep some stuff from you, right? And then she's
exactly.
going to reveal them in the relationship. So you're not really sure really what's going to happen, right? So or what you're
Yeah,
working with. Yeah. So you just
yeah,
have to have a contingency plan when she starts raining on your parade, and now you're seeing stuff that you never saw, and she becomes this other person. But I mean, it's part of the game.
yeah. It is.
It's
But as for me, I most of my relationships, I let the girl know most. I think that's what most guys fear. But as for me, I think for her to really trust you and open up to you, she has to know what you have been through. You know,
Mhm.
what you have been through and what you're looking forward to. So,
okay.
what a,
Sorry,
what a
Ntini,
woman.
let me just hold you up on that.
Okay.
What you just said was gonna be part of my next question.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay to open up to the person that you want to be with? Let's say maybe on the first date or in the honeymoon phase. Should you let them in on your past relationships or on some secrets, or like, let's say maybe you have a child, that's something from the past, right? Should you let them in? Should you let them know? Or maybe it's not necessary. They can always get the hang of it later on in the relationship. Is it important? Do you find it important to share such information or certain issues or details about you to your new partner or to your potential partner?
I think that's exactly where I was going with the previous question. I think I was already heading into this question. So I think it's necessary, you know? Rumi, let's say we are in a relationship, you and me, right?
Mm.
Why should I let you in on some things and then I hide some things from you? We are not. It's not a relationship. It's not. It's not. We shouldn't even fool ourselves. We can't consider that to be. I have to let you in 100%. You know. That's when most people say, "If I die, I die," because that's exactly what most people fear. A lot of us, we fear heartbreaks. We fear most stuff. We see how people crumble when they're let down and the likes, you know. But by that fear, you're not letting yourself love. You know, you're limiting yourself. By limiting yourself, you're not giving the whole of you to the other person who you've just told that you want to be in that relationship with. So the moment you decide that you want to be in a relationship, I think you should really express yourself. You should really let them know everything about you. If you want that happiness to come to tag along, let them know. Let them know. It comes easy that way. It's been easy for me because I'm that open person. I won't lie. I won't sugarcoat it in any way. But Ditori, that's the kind of person I am. I have to let you know so that you won't act surprised. Let's say we're strolling in town and then one of my exes pops up and then you know that scenario is just crazy,
Mm.
you know. So
Awkward, yeah.
to to avoid those future disputes and the likes, I'm just gonna let you know on what's happened back then and what I'm expecting in the future in terms of us.
Okay. Thank you for that response, Ntini. Melbourne.
Well, it's important to be very transparent in the relationship, right? Or it's before the relationship, so it's important to be very transparent. Though I feel not everything should be said or can be said at one point in time, right? So some of the stuff you can say along the way, as long as you say it. I think that's important, right? Because I mean, we all go through different things in life and then or in our relationships or our previous relationships, right? And some of the stuff is not stuff that you can just go talk about on a first date or because you haven't even established a relationship where it's that open to say anything, because some of the stuff that you're going to share with that person are very personal to you, right? So you need time to know the person, trust the person, and etc. So you need to take your time and you need to know where you are in a relationship or before the relationship to say certain things, right? So I think stuff like, well, before this, I was with this one person. I think those stuff are fine. You can say them before, or like what happened in the previous relationship. You can say them with time, but it just depends with the time frame or the phase where you say these things. But at the end of the day, it's important that everything should be said, because the truth of the matter is the past will always catch up, right? So no matter how you try to hide your stuff, it will catch up with you one day. So when or where you say it in the relationship is another story, but it just has to be said. That's what I think.
Okay. I agree with you on that. There's a question from the chat room. I hope you guys can be able to tackle it. If you feel it's coming from a girl, I'm guessing. If you feel like the person you love the most is being distant and doesn't love you like before, when you feel like that spark which used to be there when you first met isn't there anymore, what do you do about it? Let me just repeat it one more time. If you feel like the person you love the most is being distant and doesn't love you like before, when you feel like that spark which used to be there when you first met isn't there anymore, what do you do about it?
I think that's where we talk about communication in a relationship. And
Yeah.
it's important to keep the communication in your relationship very pristine in a way. So if something is not going the way you want, you have to be honest with your partner and say, you know what, I don't feel the same vibe or the same sparks. They're not there anymore, right? Can we sort of rekindle this relationship? Because, well, it's part of the relationship, or it's part of every relationship that at one point in time, maybe because we have been dating for like 4 years or stuff like that, that spark kind of like dims, and I no longer pay attention to certain things that were important to you, right? And you feel like I don't care anymore and stuff like that. So if the communication in the relationship is pristine, I should be able to come out and say, Melbourne, I feel like you don't say good night the way you used to say back in the day, and that was very important to me, right? So now, instead of just bottling down everything, now you're letting me know, right? And then I should be in a position to start doing that, sort of like start paying back what you want me to do. So it's a question of communication. But if the person, then you tell them that, you're no longer doing this and they decide not to do it, right? I think these are some of the signs that to tell you that, I mean, you should be starting to pack your bags and look elsewhere, I feel.
Okay. Um, there's another comment. These young, these young cats, they seem to be more mature than I was at their age. I wasn't even thinking of the relationship at their age. I was too busy being a player. That's a Black American tradition. So yeah, guys, thumbs up to you. You're quite mature. You're quite mature. So yeah, Ntini, what's your take on that question that was asked before?
Uh, First of all, thank you very much, Kate. I didn't know I was that mature for my own age. Well, I actually think that part of being a person who actually knows or who has an idea what happens in a relationship is a series of failed relationships for like a lot of failures, Or I don't know how you're gonna put this, but saying the failures could be the wrong term to put it, because
Experiences.
there's such sorry.
I'm saying we can refer to them as experiences.
Yeah, the experiences.
No, but there could be failed experiences, guys. Don't don't don't
Not
try
what
don't
you
try sugar don't try sugarcoat
say.
stuff here.
Sugarcoat it.
Okay,
It's
okay. Self
I mean,
experiences.
you fail in class. I mean, you get a D grade, man. That's a fail. It's an experience, but it's still a fail. So don't be
Okay.
sugarcoating
All
stuff.
right.
Yeah, but no, I understand. Yeah, so you can continue.
Yeah, but let's say it's an experience that's worth it. Let's take it on that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So to Rijeko's to answer what Rijeko was saying, I think as Mobin said before, communicate, right? Communication, it matters the most. But someone once said communication doesn't matter, but comprehension does. Do you understand the other person? Do you? You know? So ask the person, do yourself a favor and ask the person what's going on, what's on your mind. Cause a lot of people are attracted to things instantly. As people we quickly forget what we have because we've had that for a long time, you know
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So ask your partner, ask the person what's going on in your mind, what's happening. That answer is really gonna give you that relief, and you're gonna take the right direction for yourself. I think for relationship guys, there is no one who knows better what you want than yourself. You know
Mm-hmm.
what you want. Exactly. Don't let your friend or your best friend tell you what to do, because after you whatever happens, after you fix that relationship that seemed as if it was crumbling, as if it's gonna end, you're gonna go back to your best friend and blame them, be like, it was your fault, you wanted this to end, Wallace, so if you are the best friend, tell your friend that he or she knows better, so
Okay.
communicate, ask, talk. You're gonna feel better and you're gonna know what you want after you get that response.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm sure our sister got a response from the gentleman in the studio. Okay, that brings us to another question. Guys, do you believe in fate? Do you believe in destiny? Or you don't believe in that? When it comes to your partners, your soulmates, do you believe in fate? Do you believe in destiny? You're all
I just want
quiet.
to ask. I just
You don't.
no, no. I just want to ask. I just want to ask. No, no. I just want to ask.
Um,
What do you mean by what do you mean by do you believe in fate or destiny in your relationships? Just please clarify that question for me.
Okay.
I don't really.
I hope.
Yeah. What?
Uh, okay,
Yeah.
I
So
hope I
please
can
just.
expand on that. Well, um, you know, there are people. Let's say me and you, Melbourne. We might be destined to be together, but then you find me dating Ntini, um, but then because me and Tini we are not our stars are not aligned. Eventually, me and him we're gonna break up, and then for some reason I end up with you. Do you think that's fate? Do you think that's destiny, or things just happen the way they're supposed to happen? I hope I tried expanding on that. I don't know. Can someone help me from the chat room, or maybe one of you might have understood what I'm trying to say?
is it that type of scenario where love just happens, love at first
Oh yeah,
sight?
yeah. That's another angle you can try to answer it from. Do you believe in love at
Okay.
first sight? Because 2 days ago when we were with the girls were they all said they don't believe in love at first sight. They say that that's something for the movies, something on the movies, not in real life. What's your take?
Well, I I don't want to speak for everyone else, but in my
Speak for
world,
yourself, my guy. Speak for
I don't
yourself.
I don't I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah. Speak for you. Speak for you.
I don't think there's something like love at first sight. It's just too abstract and it's unrealistic in a way. Um, well, it doesn't exist because I mean we have to understand that, or sort of like how we define love, right? It's something that uh, sort of like catches along the way, right? So it's not like I see someone. So when you see someone and then you feel like, wow, it's just a spark, but it's not love because love is the consequence of the union or what you go through or the process, right? So it can never, so I can never justify that there's something like love at first sight. You can just like how the person looks or how the person speaks, but you don't love them, right? Um, you will eventually love them when you get to know the person, blah blah blah. Then just to go back to your destiny, I think that was the question that you had initially asked.
Okay.
Do you live in fate or destiny, right? I believe in that 100%. I believe in that. I think that is
Okay.
one of the most real thing. Well, because well I have had people or met people or interacted with people, right, who say stuff like, before I met my wife or before I met this girl, I dreamt about being with this girl. I never knew this person. And then, when we were working somewhere, I met this person. I'm like, oh, this is the person that I saw, in this dream or stuff like that, stuff like that. So I think these things are really, 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 really there. It's just a matter of sometimes you may try to deny that. I mean, there's nothing like that, you know. It's just it's sort of like a cosmic fluke where something that just happens and then you love that person. But I mean, to some people, you can even realize that, well, when you're dating your girl, right? I know a person who, when they're dating this person, and then they told them that, you know, I actually dreamt you us having kids and stuff like that, and before I even knew about you, and now we are in this union. So I absolutely believe in those things, and I don't discourage those things. I mean, if it's sort of like your fantasy or it's your religion or whatever it is, those things do exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tini.
Hey, this one, this one is tricky. When we this is very very tricky, you know, because as we go on, it's like we're gonna be debating with ourselves with what we said before. Because love love at first sight, it's not love, as Melbourne said. You know, it's some kind of like admiring, because there are certain factors that you see in a girl, and it automatically clicks in you that no, that's someone who I want. You know, as young guys, even I think Melbourne knows this. The kind of things we used to watch, cartoons, them even right now, they they shape the cartoons. It's something that every young man grows up wanting, you know, and confirm on that. The Kim Impossibles, you know how it is. Those yeah, the shape of the body, something that when you see it, it automatically reminds you of something you grew up seeing on television, and be like, so that's nice. Now, as a person who we are on relationships, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I want you. Yeah, as we are on relationships, you're gonna like a person. And yeah, as Keith is saying, it won't be love, it's lust. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Exactly, it's lust. So it's an urge that's within you, you know, that you have to satisfy. But if you're looking for a relationship, that's when I say give yourself time. I would say I'm 50-50 on this. So fate comes in when I experience love at first sight, and then it in turns into something that I never thought it will be. It turns into like worth being in, you know. So I'm gonna say I'm 50-50 on this, because it can be something, you know. You can lust on someone, then it becomes the worst experience ever. But I can do that, and then it becomes the best relationship I can ever have. So I'm gonna go 50-50 on this. I go
Okay.
50-50. Love on first
Yeah.
sight, then no love on first sight.
Well, I'll also add. I also add one. So I think. Well, someone said, "Have you ever like bumped into someone and someone, a pretty girl, and you're like, this is the one." Let's no, let's be honest. It's not love, right? You just like the person. You just like what you see, right? You don't love the person, right? Because you only get to love the person with time, right? Even, for example, my girlfriend, I didn't love her at first sight. I would be lying
Is
to
she
say, hey, man,
listening? Is she listening in on the show?
I think she is. I think she is. But well, she knows.
Okay.
I didn't. Well,
All
but the thing
right.
is,
Yes,
I didn't.
she
Yeah,
has
but
to.
I don't love her at first sight because that would be a lie, right? So, for example, I see walks of life. We see a lot of pretty women out there, right? But you don't love them at first sight, or you don't just love them. You may like them. Oh, this one is dressed proper. This one looks very nice. They're taking care of themselves. That's not love. You're just liking what you see, right? And then you take that like into and you progress it into something meaningful if you get to know that person. So from a guy's side or from my side, you can try to rationalize saying I love that person at first and give reasons about it, but to be honest, that's not the truth. You just liked or you just lasted that person, but it's not love. It can't be love, 100%. It cannot be love.
Okay. Okay. Um, all right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, most women, let's say you had your first kiss on the 1st of August, or your first date, or I don't know, maybe you did something special on that date. I know most women are fond of this. They remember dates, they remember anniversary dates. They like you to make them feel very special on their birthdays. Um, they like anytime gifts and those other things to make them happy. Do you think it's a bit corny to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, or certain special love holidays with your partner, or you don't think it's necessary to celebrate those things?
Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna take this one first.
Okay.
As guys, we all know we are responsible to making sure that your woman feels good, feels great. So, guys, come on. This is a given fact. Her birthday, anniversary, she herself is going to add those monthly anniversaries to the list. Valentine's, it's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valentine's, it's a given. So, not everyone is able to spend those days in the most extravagant way as we see how the Westerners do it. Just spending that time with her and even reminding her, Kuti, do you know that today is our anniversary? It counts. It's not supposed to be something big, huge, but I think we should. It's not even corny. It's something that we should. In a relationship, it's something that's given. You're supposed to do that. And the funny enough thing is women do talk about it. I think all of us being at Goromonzi before, we know how that goes. So you already been in a culture that you already know what you're supposed to do. So all I'm saying is, okay, as a person, I'm not perfect. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not perfect. There are some days, some incidences that you're gonna act as if you don't know anything about them because not everything is gonna work perfect for you as you expect them to be, right? But birthdays, Valentine's, it's a given. Just take your time to spend them with your loved one and make sure that you do what you are able to do. Don't push it. Don't push it. If she doesn't appreciate, that's where we go back to what we were talking about before. If she's yours, she knows that you went all out and you gave it your all, you know? So I think we should. But women have the tendency of not doing like exactly. I can tell by the way you're laughing already because you know where it's going. You
Yeah,
don't
we always want things that are one sided. We don't want to give as
exactly.
well.
Exactly. So most guys now, they'll act as if they can't because they're not receiving the same energy. You get my point?
Okay.
So yeah, if a guy gives in 100%, it's our anniversary. It's not my anniversary. You get my point? So in as much as you are telling me that those days exist, I'm not expecting the same, but I'm expecting the same energy. Be excited about it in the same way I am, you know? Because if I'm expecting to get gifts in as much as I'm giving you gifts, now this is like what what do you call those events whereby I bring you a present, you pick my name, I pick someone else's name, and then you bring them a present as well. That won't work. It won't work like that. But I just want you to appreciate what I have, what I've put on the table for you. Because, you know, guys, in as much as we receive those funny presents and those, it's hard being a guy, I'm telling you. It's very hard. But the way I'm gonna appreciate it, you have no idea. Because I know you went out of your way to make that happen. So you do the same. Come on.
Yeah, and Tini, well said, man. I think I feel the same. I feel the same. I feel the same. I just think it's important to know what your partner likes, what they like. So if they are a person who's into such things, Valentine's, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever it is, I think it's imperative that you have to do that. It's important you have to do that because it's those little things that are important. So it's not even about going all out, buying the big stuff or whatever it is. Well, it depends from a relationship to the other, right? Because other people are very particular about what you get them because they're going to compare you to what the other girl got on Instagram. And like, man, this is you're playing games now, man. My friends are getting this stuff and you're buying me a wristwatch. What are you looking at me like, So, but I think at the end of the day, the value of a gift is not measured by the amount given, but by the motive that actuates the giver, right?
Yeah.
So any reasonable person would know that to say, okay, fine, I think my boyfriend or my girlfriend does not afford much, but the fact that he did something for me is the most important thing and the motive behind the gift. So there's nothing corny about doing all those things. If you can, do it 100%, man. And we also celebrate you. We'll post likes, comments on your posts on Instagram, whatever it is. Do it, go all the way because it's part of love. It's part of the relationship, right? So you can be scoring in other things and then not fail on this other thing. So do everything right. If you can't, well, it's fine, but try by all means to at least do something or appreciate your partner or just remember something or just cook for your partner. If you can afford a date, just buy something, cook for her. I think that is perfect in a way.
Okay. Thank you for that, guys. There's a comment from the chat room. If the girl doesn't appreciate gifts, get rid of her quickly. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving to the next question. Um, when do you let go of the relationship for you? Like, what's your end point where you say, you know what, I'm just gonna call this quits, or I'm just gonna let her go, or I'm just gonna let this relationship go? At what point have you done that, or do you do that?
Tini, do you want to take that one?
The one with the failed experiences. That's yours.
I think you experience in those regards, man. So you can. Bonole. Are you gonna take it? Your mic is off.
Hey, your mic is off.
Yeah, so I was saying, letting go is hard, guys. You know, because let's say this has been a 5 year, 6 year, you know, going on with relationship. You've been in through thick and thin together. You have experienced the most, and you're starting to believe that this is it. This is the last girlfriend into wife kind of relationship you're gonna have. So let it go is gonna be so hard that as a person, as a guy, as you're saying, as a guy, you're gonna start ignoring a lot of red flags, you know, that this happens because all of us as human beings, you have do's and don'ts, you know? She can't do that. If she does that, no, that's a no for me. She can't do ABC. If she does that's perfect. She can do a series of don'ts, but you're gonna take that as if it's she's somehow testing you if she's the one, you know? You get into a stage where you're in a relationship that you don't wanna let go. You're holding on tight with everything you have, you know? That comes after a long time, after a very, very, very long experience, after you've been through quite a lot, then that happens. And then there comes a relationship where you just let go. So now this depends on what you have experienced before, and how much you have put into the relationship, that you have sacrificed a lot. You just don't want to see it go. You just don't want to see it leave you. So yeah, I think most people are watching this, and I know most of my exes, I wanna want said my daughter's a want. Yeah, but letting go is really hard for a person like me, because I don't want time to be wasted. You've already
Mhm.
built something already. So letting go for that, I mean, for me, it's hard, man. It's hard. That's why this question is really, really hard for me, because letting go is hard. Don't just waste time to being in a relationship that you want to let go. You get me? So hey,
Okay.
it's really hard, dude.
Okay. Melbourne.
Well, so the reason why I gave it to me to take this question first is because, well, I'll just generalize because I haven't been at a point where I have to let go, right? So I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When should you let go, or what's that like? But um, okay, before that, I just think, a relationship is like a chain, right? So the moment, let's say you break up, let's say you see the future in the relationship, or it's something that you want to live into marriage or something like that, right? So the moment you something goes wrong and then you break up, right, and then maybe you fix your stuff and then you have to come back into the relationship. It's like any chain that becomes a weak spot, right? So it's just going to break anyway, and it's just going to continuously break. So for me, even if there's something that I don't like or something that I feel like, man, I could live this, is that realization that, you know what, the moment you break this thing, right, it's not going to stand, right? It's going to have a weak point, and if something happens, you're going to break and you're going to break, and it's going to affect, man. It's not going to lead into anything. So you'd rather stay, right? Fix what you're going through and move on. Don't break, because you don't want to introduce that in your relationship. That's what I think. So when it comes to to breaking a relationship, I just think, well, man, you just have to you just have to be honest. You don't have to be overly naive, right? If if there are signs that this person doesn't love you anymore, or they're not giving enough attention, or I'm trying to help them improve in those regards and they're not improving in those regards, or you know everything is just disintegrating into hell. I think that's just a moment where you just have to tell yourself, no matter what, I didn't invest everything into the relationship that's not going to work out. Let me just move out and preserve my sanity. So if it gets to a point where things not turning back, I think that's the perfect time to move out of the relationship. Don't try and fix someone. That's not your responsibility. You will never succeed in doing that anyway. So just move out. That's what I think.
Okay. All right, guys. All right. Moving on to the other question. This one is quite a hot question. Why do you men cheat? I once asked someone, a guy friend of mine, on why guys cheat, and their response was, men cheat because, take for example, that you are having a milkshake or a tropical flavored juice. You want a bit of the strawberry, you want a bit of the banana, you want a bit of the orange, because when you have a mixture of all those different flavors, you accomplish that that taste you want to have. So by them saying that, all right, I began questioning myself as to, okay, fine. Okay, maybe you want a bit of melanin today, then tomorrow you want a bit of some kid, uh, a lot of things are going through my mind. But well, it seems to be a very good reason because maybe you're cheating, because maybe the other one, like Melbourne was saying, he prefers women that are well spoken. So maybe the other one is well spoken, but not really kind. And then there's another one who's kind. So he has like a team of soccer because there's strengths in each person that he wants to have as one. So I don't know from your perspective as to why you men cheat. Please note, this is just a discussion, nothing personal, nothing personal. It's just a discussion. You can use your friend's view. You can be like, for me, Ntini, I don't know, but speaking for my friend, I think, okay.
I was already in that zone of rage, but like, what? Man, cheat?
Oh, you're shocked, right? You're shocked.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, men don't cheat with men now, do they?
No, they don't.
Come again?
Okay.
What did you say? What did you say?
I say men don't cheat with men don't cheat with other men, do they, bro? Do
Oh
they?
no,
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 no, no, no.
Exactly.
Especially not in Zimbabwe, no.
Yeah, they cheat with other women.
Ah,
But
okay. We don't want, today is just about you guys. I want to hear from your side. Don't put the women in that equation anymore, because at times
okay,
you cheat and the other woman does not know that you have a girlfriend, that you maybe you have a wife. At times the other woman doesn't know. So let's just keep it general on the male side.
well, this could be interesting if I am Melbourne is going to be the guy who doesn't cheat. How do you like?
sorry, come again. Come again. Repeat that question. What did you say?
Wow. Okay. Okay,
What did you say?
Melbourne, Tini said it will be very interesting if he's not the guy if he's not a cheating person.
If
No, I missed that. Sorry,
If
come
he
again.
doesn't cheat, if are you saying you don't cheat or if you didn't cheat? What are you saying?
no, I'm saying to make this interesting, I'm gonna be the guy who cheats, and Melbourne is gonna be the guy who doesn't cheat.
Yeah, this is very good one. Yeah. Even I, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So as a guy who cheats, this
That's
is
just
what
on the
happens.
show. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a guy who cheats. So this is my girlfriend. We are at a period we're not clicking. We are having a series of misunderstanding and everything is just wrong. You know? That nice lust at first sight. It
Yeah.
passes by. As you're saying, as a guy, what do you do? What's your first thing? You're going to talk to her. And surprisingly, she's gonna act as if she's that someone who understands. Now, guys, I don't want you to act as if you have never met a person who seems as if he or she, okay, let's say she, okay, she understands you way better than the person who you're with in a relationship. You know, like she gets you. You. It's like
You
she's
vibe.
been exactly. It's like you've been through the same thing together. She's been there watching. She's been with you. You know. So the reason number one why the man is going to cheat is the reason number one, the decent reason. We're still at the decent reasons. The decent reason why. The decent reason why I'm going to cheat is because I've found someone who is filling that void that has been left by a person who's claiming to be mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear from the non-cheater.
Okay. That was a decent reason. I want the naughty reason.
The naughty reason.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
decent one. So what's the other reason? What's the worst other reason that you guys you cheat?
The worst one is yes. The worst one now is 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 like this. I see her and she is the perfect the perfect boom. There you go. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. Is Melbourne still with us?
That doesn't give me another reason to even think about it though.
Okay.
I'm
All
not
right. Melbourne, the non-cheating guy.
Yeah. Well, so let me start by saying one of the reasons that you gave Rumi was, um, let's say, I think it's Rumi or both of you said because maybe the person has some characteristics that are not found in your person, and then you sort of like connect in a way that you don't connect with your partner, or they understand you better than your partner and stuff like that. So then you find yourself being attracted to that person. So with that, that is the reason why people cheat. So, well, for me, I would want to say that's a very suboptimal solution to the problem because, well, even if you are married, you're always going to find someone who understands you far much more better than your wife understands you, right? That's a given. Or who sort of like likes stuff that you like that your wife may not like, right? It's always going to be there, right? So if you're going to take that and then go out there and look for people who sort of like fit those things, then you're eventually going to cheat with everyone, because it's what they call, you are searching for a lost father. So you sort of like going into society and picking the fragments that your wife doesn't
Mm.
have, and sort of like piecing together this perfect archetype or girl, and then be with that person. So it doesn't work, because I mean, there's always going to be someone who speaks to you better at a moment. With that
Mm.
said, why do people cheat? Well, there are a lot of reasons why people cheat. I think, without trying to rationalize stuff and justify our inadequacies and whatnot, I just think as people cheat, or people cheat because um, they're insufficient. There are no two ways about it. You know, even if your partner is not giving you what you're looking for in that relationship, the fact that you're in a relationship, you have to commit to that contract that you get in there, right? So no matter what, right, you just have to keep to that, because well, it speaks much about yourself, not the other person, right? So I may be a dummy, right, or you may be dating a dummy, right, and then you're like, and I'm dating this guy, and I might as well just go out, right? But it doesn't speak about them; it speaks about your character as a person. So there's nothing really that justifies cheating, in as much as we want to justify it, right? There's nothing really, because you're just gonna find faults in your person. Not faults, but let's just for lack of a better word, we'll just say what can we say? Maybe they're missing or they're lacking something. So that's why it is important for you to point out something um, critical in a relationship. So let's say you love someone who dresses in a particular way, right? So when your girl dresses like that, right, you should tell her that I love this, right? So you are sort of like promoting positive emotion in the relationship, right? So the more she does that, or the more she exhibits that action, right, the more you become positive and the more you connect with her, right? So if there's something that you feel the girl is fundamentally lacking in, address that thing. Tell her, you know what, I love this, I appreciate this, and the more she does that, the more you're attracted to her, instead of going out and trying to find your father in other people in society, because well, you're gonna find him anyway. So that's what I think, and that's why communication is very important. So I might cheat, whatever it is, but to be honest, there's nothing that justifies that thing at all. There's nothing that justifies it. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. I like that opinion, Melbourne. I think I should date people like you because I'm tired of these sons of Pharaoh. Hey, they always justify cheating. Ha, Genie. I'm tired of
Is
people like
is
you who justify cheating.
is is is, is, is Melbourne's girlfriend watching this? Be careful.
Oh, I don't need to worry. I'm miles away. No need to worry. Okay.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
One more question. If you've been cheated before, or from what you've heard, let's say your girlfriend is cheating. How do you tell if your girlfriend is cheating? Can you tell? Because usually, in relationships, right, women can tell if their man is cheating. Women, they just know. It's like a natural instinct. Like when you know that you're pregnant, that is just how you know that my person is cheating if you're a woman. But for men now, men, they're always the last to know if the woman is cheating. So are there any signs that you can tell, or that you've seen, or that you've heard, um, that shows that your lady or your woman or your girl is cheating on you?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Why? You could be dating a psychopath, man. You can never pick anything up. You would never,
Okay.
right? So, well, you are lucky if you know, right? You're lucky if
True.
you know. That's what
True.
I think. You're lucky if you know. You know, you can date someone. You know, we've had 10 years, right? And on the wedding, that's when they realize, man, this person has been carrying a whole lot of baggage with them. So I just they may be signs and signals or something, or you could say if she's just not replying to you or she's just giving excuses, then she's cheating. But I think that's not conclusive, right? Because maybe something could be happening with her. So I would say from my side, really, you only know when you know, right? You can never be sure, man, because so like you say, sons of Pharaoh, daughters of whoever it is, uh, they will play
uh,
you very well. Or
yeah,
maybe your
but
friends could tell you,
but
or maybe
but I
your
agree with
friends
you,
could tell you.
Melbourne. It's really difficult to tell when your woman is cheating. I'm a woman.
Mhm.
Um, it Women rarely get caught when they cheat. By the time you get them, they'll be done with that guy already. They'll be back, and it's difficult when with women because when they cheat, because you don't know they're cheating, they try to balance or to strike a balance on both ends, you know, because they sort of like weighing out their chances on both sides. So they give out the 50-50 effort, but after weighing, you can now see that it becomes a 60-40, 70-30, and eventually they choose or end up with the guy that they want to be with. It's different from when men cheat, because usually when men cheat, it's just a small fleeing, and they can always come back to their woman and all. But with women now, it's quite difficult because women
They are gone.
are the most um, clever people ever on this earth. So, Ash, I really do get you, Melbourne. You can never really tell. So, you can never really tell. I don't know. Ntini, I'm sure from your felt experiences, maybe you can shed a bit of on that.
Yeah, yeah. That's true to some extent. But as you were saying, and even giving the percentages of how it gets to being like the best relationship, and then the attention just shifts, and then you is that you're the only person who's now giving in 100%. Boom, that's your answer. There you go.
Yeah. So,
But the main guy, something else is going on. That's your of like sign from the heavens to tell you that it's ABC is going down. You know, as long as you see that shift, that you are the main man. She's replying. The moment you send, she's even complaining. Why are you not responding? You know, the moment you see that gone, what else? What else? What else do you want to know? What else?
yeah,
It's true.
true.
You said it. You can never know. You can never know because maybe the guy you are cheating with has done something so stupid and silly that you're pissed off, and then you come back and you're now responding the same way you used to. You know how you women are able to juggle.
Mm.
That's how you're able to do. Yeah. So that's the part where you cannot. But the moment you see that shift of attention, that delay of messages while she's online, that's like she's now so reluctant to see you. She's not giving in that effort. She doesn't even care anymore. That's it. That's it. Funny enough, as men, we sort of tend to You just let it slide, be like, ah, no, it's just happening because maybe I did something yesterday. Maybe it's because I didn't do that. Maybe it's because, it's that time of the month. So if that happens, you're just sacrificing yourself, buddy. You're just
Okay.
in for a really hectic hard one.
Okay. Okay. You guys, people seem to like you. From the comments, there's a comment that you guys, and these are some handsome brothers. These are some handsome brothers. Too handy. Okay. We'll bring this true more often. Seems like the ladies, they love you. Okay, there's someone who said the problem is the basis for most relationship today is money, and um our relationship today in the society is now based on the European value system, which is mostly superficial. Therefore, cheating is done because there isn't any real commitment to the relationship. Because people nowadays, they've become more materialistic than sentimental. So, do you guys agree with the fact that some and most of the relationship nowadays, they are now based on money?
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Just listening to the ladies who were on the show some previous days, I think one of the comments that they were giving is if he doesn't have money, then he doesn't get. But man, um, that's more, that's not the way to go. Or let me retract a little bit. Uh, I see that most relationships these days is how much do you have? Can you do so much? If you cannot do so much, then there's going to be a better person to do that for me, right? So we're sort of like pursuing stuff uh, that are not important in the long in the long run. So sort of like we're playing the game instead of playing the meta game, right? So the meta game is deeper than money, right? The relationship shouldn't be centered around that as we see today. So guys nowadays, and also this has made a lot of guys very self-conscious, right? Is I mean you have to be hustling, you have to be doing something because there's this.
Sorry, is it my network on Melbourne? You're breaking up.
I think it's your network. It's you. I think she's out. So I could just continue as
Yeah,
she,
let's go.
yeah. So I think a lot of girls have made a lot of girls have made a lot of guys very self conscious because I mean, if you don't have anything to sustain her, there's always going to be a better guy, better I mean monetarily, who's going to
Yeah.
come in and say, you know what, man, I can do this for you. I see you don't have this, and your boyfriend can do this for you. So, man, I could just come
But
in, you come in, we exchange this for that, So that's also the basis of cheating as well. To say, I mean, my guy cannot give me this, but he can give me this. So I'll just go to my guy for love or whatever it is. Then I'll go to this guy for material stuff. So most relationships these days, 100%, have been reduced to dollars and cents is that. So there is no love, but
it's
it's
true.
dollars and cents. Then the love is on the corner. That's how I see it these days. I don't know, Unity.
No, 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 my guy. We're not gonna lie to ourselves that it's different. That's exactly what it is, you know. Because look at it from the previous question: the Valentines, the birthdays, the anniversaries. You know,
Hmm.
all of those dates. They're all centered around one thing, bro: money. You know, without it, you can't be that person she wants, and you are gonna do the best you can, and she won't. maybe she won't even appreciate what you've done. Why? Because as the question as the person who in the comment section said, love is mostly centered now on how the Europeans do it, how the Americans do it, and the way they portray it, the way how we see it is it's all about money, you know. So to women now, if you're not there financially, man, you don't mean a thing. That's to most. But Melbourne, don't get all women in. Not all of them see people as see men as people who are supposed to provide them with something.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, 100%,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, because some of them they actually have it all that they don't even some of them who don't have most, they only appreciate you and what you're giving. I know a lot of people are going to say that these people don't exist, but guys, trust me, these people do exist and they're there, you know. But the main fact,
Yeah,
the
but I
main
think
fact,
the reason why we're saying they don't exist is because the norm,
most of them,
it's really like the
most,
norm, most, right? Not
yes, yeah, most
everybody,
of them,
right?
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
most of
it's
them.
about that, right?
That's a
So those
given.
guys, these people who don't want money, they're sort of like now the outliers in this whole relationship game. They're there, but very few. But you know, it's about that, 100%. I think.
All right, sorry, let
True.
me just hold you there. Also, on the notion that people are now dating and looking out for people with money, I don't think it's right. I don't think that is still a relationship, or um you are in it in for the longest, because the moment we start dating or being with someone because of their financial status, it has diluted the whole essence of the whole relationship, because it means you are dating only for the money, or if you're with someone only for the money, you take whatever bullshit, whatever crap they throw into your face, because at the end of the day, you are in it for the money.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there won't be any respect in that relationship. Um, there won't be boundaries. Someone will just do whatever they like. And imagine you're having, let's say you're having sex with this person, right? These are the kind of people you can't really trust them to such an extent that you can okay, this is just for the show, right? You can't trust them to the extent that you say, you know what, let's not have safe sex, because since you're in it for just for the money, it means you're prone to so much. You're prone to abuse. You're prone to STIs. You're prone to so much, because in your mind it's just about the money. It's just about the money. So when you're in it for the money, you work for that money, and it means it means settling in. Sorry, it means you're now settling for whatever that is coming with it, with that money. So I think it's no longer a relationship. It's like a business contract where there's someone who has to benefit more on the end at the expense of the other person. So it values the whole relationship thing, and I'm seeing that it's becoming part of our culture. It's becoming part of or Black African culture. I don't think back in the day things were like this. That is why you see that marriages, um, um, our parents, our grandparents, they've really grown old together, unlike the marriages of the 21st century. Because in the 21st century, women and men, okay, women, okay, let me speak for women. If someone doesn't have money today, um, they will not really take you seriously. But there's a difference between someone who doesn't have money and someone who has potential. So our inability to see potential is what is destroying us. Because you know what? Okay, fine, they can have money today, but then if they don't have vision, if they don't have direction, if they don't have focus, in 2 years' time, you'll be broke. Then what? You move on to the next rich nigga. It goes on and on and on. So before you know it, our generation would have experienced a lot, like 3, 4 divorces, just because of this money culture. So yeah, I don't know if you agree with me on that.
I'm absolutely with you. I
Like our parents, they were not like this. Like back in the day, it was they were in it for the love, they were in it for the passion, not for the money. That is why they've built so much together, because these are people who believe in each other. These are people who said, you know what, I'll build my person, or I will invest in this relationship in such a way. That is why right now our parents, our grandparents, they're still together. Unlike these people or this generation, this new generation from the 21st century and that of the late 90s.
But are we talking of the same people who could do that Singabere thing? Are we talking about the same people?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those people as
Because
well.
because if we all know what happened back then. We all know how it used to get done.
Okay. Maybe you can try and tell our international friends what Musenga Bere is, because I know right now, yeah, they are lost.
I think that's the part where you should explain it to them. But
Okay, I'll try
I'm
and
I'm
explain.
saying
You okay? Go ahead.
okay, okay, okay. It's a scenario where like a male sees a female that he likes, and then he doesn't even think twice about it. He just runs, picks her up, and then go and leaves her where he stays. So the rules back then were that as long as he picked her and dropped her off where he stayed, she was not supposed to leave that place and was the wife of the person who was able to carry. So funny enough, I'm trying to picture it how those small dudes used to do. Did they used to do the same thing, or it was only for those buff ass niggas? Or were they the same people who were able to
are
do
you
it?
making people?
There was the only unfair part. There was the only unfair part. Yeah, but I think back then it used to be so nice, and nowadays it's been so ruined. It's all gone. It's eroded, man. Because right now most people just want to that Western European kind of setting. They all want the same thing, you know, and that's something to do with money. So it's actually like that. We can't change it. It's like we have already headed into that type of lifestyle now. It's something to do. Was it something to do with strength? So I think it's fair now because everyone can do the same singabere if you have the money. So them singabere now has the money involved. You carry the chicks if you have the money. I think. I think. I think that's how it works now. But it's not supposed to be like that because it's not everyone who's able to provide. You know, because it works in a way that everyone has his time. You get me,
Yeah,
Melvin? You know?
yeah.
Because look at us now. We are students. We are not able to do most what the working class guys do. You get it? Exactly. Because it's not our time. We're able to do, yes, we're able to do fancy stuff, but it's something that you do after a certain period of time. A
Yeah.
lot of sacrifices. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So
Most
my time comes, and what happens to most is when my time comes, I would have suffered a lot. That now I'm gonna be that guy who most people term that word, who's gonna go back to girls who are years younger, trying to provide because I've suffered the same fate. You know,
Yeah.
that's how rough and harsh the society has been, and unfortunately, it's something we can't change because now, as we are all saying, and as the guys in the section are saying, it's now centered around money and material value, but it's all about time, patience. You never know where that gets you, because your guy is getting there. Eventually, everyone, as long as you know that person has got direction, just
Yeah.
just give them time. Just give them time.
They'll get there eventually.
Eventually, eventually, yeah.
But I mean, as
And then
you are working to get there, I can be working out with
as you
someone else.
as you're paving your way to get there, my brother, I will
I'll
deal
be
with that guy
I'll
first.
be cohabiting with someone else, you know.
Oh
But
my God, you're killing me.
that's the unfair part. But I mean, it's life, man. Life
Yeah,
is rough, man. Life is rough, man. But
yeah.
well, what can we do about it? We just have to go through it and see where it takes us.
Most of us do. Most of us do.
Okay. All right. Continue. Melbourne. Do you have anything to say before we close down the show?
Um, I, I I'll just love to say to everyone who's been tuning into the show that true love exists, guys. Don't ever fool yourselves. It's the yeah, yeah. It's there, Never give up. You're gonna experience a lot of failed relationships, as Melbourne was claiming that I have. but
That
um,
was me, by the way.
do believe me on that because I am in one right now. I'm in a very wonderful relationship. I'd like to say that now. Yeah. So give yourself some time. Give yourself some time. It's gonna act as if it won't work, but it will because I think the universe is giving you a time to find out what do you want, what kind of person are you? Because before you know what you want, who are you? What kind of things? What makes you you? Before you start saying she doesn't have ABC, know yourself first. That's all I'll say. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you for that. Melbourne.
no, thanks, Tini. I think just a comment. I mean, it's very refreshing and good to hear. Uh, I would say young man, speaking like an old man, but well, yeah, it's what it is. To be very honest, because I mean, to be honest, it's something that is very rare, and so in guys' circles to admit that they are in a good relationship and they are genuinely in love with the person that they are in. Like to admit it publicly, something that you never do. Even if you know you love your person 101%, you never say that in front of the gang, man. You never admit that. You're just like, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's just kudos to you, man. All the best with that. I mean, my comments, my end comments would be just to say don't project society's failures on yourself, right? So if relationships are failing out there, right, that does not say you're also going to go through the same, right? So it's society's failure, but it's not your failure. So don't put that on yourself, or don't use the same mirror to look in your life with, right? Life is different, contexts are different, experiences are different, backgrounds are different. So live your own authentic life. Don't let society's standards and norm dictate how you're going to pursue your relationship, right? A relationship is between two people, right? It's not about other people, it's about two people. So if you genuinely love that person, continue loving that person. Whatever people say is none of their business. Even if they think it's not going to work out, it's too good to be true. Just pursue it, because at the end of the day, real life satisfaction and and meaning is found in those meaningful relationships. So never take for granted what you have, right? Always try to fix yourself before you try fixing other people. I think that's the most important thing. So I think this just what I'm going to leave you guys with, and just to thank you, Rumbi, for this wonderful chat, and Captain Tini for being with us today. Shout.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's one comment. The ladies you guys are with are very lucky. So yeah, your girlfriends are very lucky. Both Tini and Melbourne. Yeah, that's quite true. Because some of the things that you're saying right now, I know that 30-year-olds have. They really started this, and you are showing such a lot of maturity that I admire so much. I like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being you. Okay, that's another one. These are young men with very sound minds. Generation is safe after. Okay, wash hands, wash hands. All right. Okay, that was from Super. Okay, thank you for coming in. Thank you all for tuning in. And thank you to our viewers. Thank you to our guests, Tintini and Nobo. This was the African Duchess Show with your host, Diane Zopa from Southern Africa. I'm from Zimbabwe. Um, have a lovely weekend. Have a nice time with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend. Don't bite each other, but enjoy every moment because it counts. We'll see you on Monday with another exciting topic. Thank you all for coming in and tuning in on the issues to do with relationships. Good night. Bye.
Don't think out this better be good. Look at you looking uncomfortable. Goody two shoes. Uh, If I did not invite you to my room, then girl, this better be good. For sure, I know what you do. I know I can be. So let's head to my TV room. A place here for me and you. Netflix and chill. For two. I can stop cold shoulders.